They
What's going
sure will.
on?
Hello,
Hey, that's right. It's your Ready to Love after discussion with Jaimi Alexander and
Gustavo Carr.
hey. So this is season 5, episode 3. Sparks will fly or fizzle, and I think there was a little bit of both. There was a little fly and a little fizzling.
I'm gonna say there was a lot of both, but
Yeah.
hey,
Well, happy Valentine's Day.
happy Valentine's Day, my love. Oh, look at you looking all ravishing in your white and red and your lip. Look at you, look like a Valentine.
I look like a Valentine. Hi.
Oh,
So
see
I
you.
see all the little hearts on your shirt.
Yes, thanks to you, I did a quick change really quick.
That's
So
right.
do you have a delicious date coming to pick you up in his limousine and take you out on a night for the town and spoil the shit out of you for this day of love because you are so worthy of all the love in the entire galaxy?
Yes, when I lay down after this and meditate about it, I sure do.
Done and done. Perfect.
So here for it. You know, we got some friends in the Chizat.
B in the
What up,
house.
B?
What up, B?
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day, lovely B.
Love day, which is every day. But
Every
according
day,
to
every
the
day.
American calendar, we're selling
Every
it
day,
extra
every day.
every
Every
day,
day,
every
every
day.
day. Every day, every day.
Especially on today. So we're going to talk about Ready to Love. This was an interesting episode. Okay. So we got two new singles. We have AP and Eric that, you know, were brought to the scene. I like that he chose Dakia to hang out with Eric. I freaking love her energy. What did you think about Dakia and Eric's date?
It was fun. It was delicious.
Yeah.
Their commonalities had me all like giggly and googly and like activated with the goosebumps all over my body. I just thought it was adorable. How about you?
I did. I thought it was good. You know, episode 1, we didn't get to see any of Dakia. She was such a question mark for me, and I really wanted more. And I'm glad we got more because she's really fun. She's so secure. And let's say fun again. And this is a word we're using repeatedly when it comes to this cast specifically. And that just really makes me happy because to watch her go in so lighthearted and she's like, okay, I mean, he better be cute and this and that. And hey, she's just real like, like I love that. And she had no problem. You know, they did a great job matching, meeting him where he was. Like, I understand the cancer. I understand being an engineer. I understand, you know, so just the common giggling, mimosas. I was here for the whole scene. I was like, yeah.
I have some words. I dare to say that production had to pull the fuck up because last season we didn't get much. We didn't get much in the end. We didn't get many real genuine connections. And I know that the viewers and the fans and everybody were saying like, hey, this is what's going on. Where's the love? Why are they friends? Why aren't they together? Where is the substance? And I think production did a really great job by implementing this new design of blind dates, which weren't blind dates on their end. They checked off the most important things like this one, cancer, engineering, the things that matter. And they made sure that they place them together. I love that it comes a couple episodes in so that people aren't like, so they had like Takia, right? Well, is that what I say? Dakia, beautiful name. Dakia was able to sort through the gentleman, get her feet wet, do what she needed to do so that when she met, she was ready.
Eric, yes.
When Dakia met Eric, she was ready for this. And I think I just want a round of applause to casting and Will, all the production, everybody for doing such a great job this time of ensuring that the people and the viewers didn't get what they wanted. Just not only did the people and the viewers get what they wanted, that the people on the show are receiving the love that they're ready for as well. Because I know Sabrina's our girl and she's like, damn, I wish I was on this season. And if I were her, I'd feel the same exact way. There's so much more substance here. It's flowing better. It's a different vibe. It's a different energy. Maybe the last cast was a little too close to the pandemic with like the closures, so people were still trying to get their feet wet and all that. That's the excuse I'm coming up with right now, at least. But these people like are ready to go. They are ready to jump and say yes or no. They're available. They're open. They're intentful. It's great. And Dakia and Eric were a prime example of that. The way that he looks at her.
He loves her. I mean, he's just so smitten. That smitten look.
And likewise, I love it. I love it. I love love, and I love the fact that they've found each other on this platform. And I mean, excited to see where that takes them and through the dating process, which I'm sure is through the episode we'll get to. But how about you? Like the cancer, the engineer, like everything was just the foundation as you and I speak, there was cement there already from the jump, right?
Yeah, these are really important things. And I like that you were able to call that out about production, because there was a lot of buzz on the internet about like, what are these people doing? Everybody's just on here trying to get a modeling contract and act like, where's the love? And so there was a need for them to be wildly intentful about how they coupled people, and they did it with precision. And I thought it was really good because, like you said, the weighty things are what matched. Even when Troy and Precious talked about the way they grew up on the first episode, there were a lot of similarities where people are really relating. And we'll get to it, but Joy and Clifton, they related. Dakia and Eric. So it's just like, I'm also wondering if it's because this class is older, which I wasn't sure about. And it was a little risky, to be honest, because when you look at traditional TV, for me, what I feel like I see is when I think reality TV and Hollywood and all this, there's like this pressure to be like young, hot, 20s, barely 30, because too much is this. Nobody wants to see these old people. They try to call 40 old when it is not. Like,
excuse me?
Yeah, exactly. Listen, I'll be having to shut it. I'll be looking every day like people be like, if I don't have it together by my 30s, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I see people in the comments
I was
like,
the
who
same way,
tell
though.
her?
I was the same way.
So was I.
Same way.
But you know what I'm saying? When it comes to television and all these things, you have this expectation that like,
oh
my God, he's 45. Like, what are they doing?
100%. The media definitely has its intentions on what that happens. Keep going. Sorry.
No, I know. I love that. And I just love how they push past all of that, because now it's giving. This is giving.
I think especially through the times that have happened the last couple of years. I hate calling it a pandemic. It just doesn't sit right with me saying that. So the things that have happened, I think I think there are a lot of people that are full of substance in this world. And I think they've been overlooked, and they didn't feel like they belonged, or they had somewhere to even see a representation of themselves. And I think that's come out of the mud and out of the woodwork, and it's much more present than it ever was, because it's necessary. And the people that didn't have that substance had no choice but to water that seed so that it would grow into a substance somewhere in their life. And they're craving more now. This whole illusion, this falsehood of the insecurities of our youth and young is fun, all that shit, it doesn't seem relevant anymore. And it's a beautiful time to exist when this transformational shift of this reality is happening. And there's actually nothing better than being 40 while it happens, because you were ready for this shit. You were born for this shit. So yeah, and I think that's what they're doing. They're just making sure that the people are getting what they want. And they heard last time, I'm sure, even though this was already shot, but they're intuitive. Not only are the people in front of the cameras intuitive, the people behind it are extremely intuitive. They're usually the visionaries that see the change and the projections of the future before the rest of the population does. So the fact that they were just in that and in tune with what was supposed to be next, substance, makes me so happy, because us old people enjoy it, and these young people actually enjoying it too, because the young ones crave substance. If there's no substance, it doesn't work anymore. And I think one last ramble is because the world that they've been brought up in is so polar opposite of what we were, and especially what our parents were. That whole paradigm that existed and shifted down to us really holds no relevance with the youth. They're seeking truth. They're seeking substance, and it's a beautiful time to be alive.
Yeah, I have to agree. I love being an 80s baby, and everything that you say resonates. Like, this is fire. This is freaking amazing. This is an amazing time to be alive. And I think you nailed it. I don't even have to reiterate everything. Those days of like, oh my God, real world, like, let's see, Girls Gone Wild, it's like, no. We just spent 2 years in the house. We want to get married. We need quality. We need foundation. All of this being distracted with parties and blah, 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 blah. Like, that was cool. That was lit. That was fun. But it's time to like bring whatever this is full circle. And I love that for us too, because not only did we get a taste of growing up with our parents who were born in the 50s and 60s, but we are rocking with kids that were born in the year 2000. And we're right here like in the middle. And it's beautiful. And I love that I feel like I'm seeing that in the show, because these 40, they're popping. They're fun, they're styling, they're lit, they're laughing. Like, this is so popping. So I just love to see everybody enjoying it. This is different. It's really nice.
I'm gonna talk shit right now real quick for a second.
Yeah, do it.
Me too. The word pandemic makes me cringe. The word pandemic makes me cringe, B. Yeah, it doesn't sit right. It doesn't feel right. Yeah. And B, I just want to give a little shout out to you. We appreciate you being here every week so much. The fact that you take time out of your day to make sure you are here experiencing this. Look, I'm getting all choked up. Experiencing this with us is just so special. We love you, B. So thank you so much for being here.
Yes.
And I actually forgot what I was going to say. What were we saying?
You were going to talk some smack real quick. You were like, I'm going to talk some smack real quick.
I was. Maybe I wasn't supposed to.
Ooh. Okay.
Oh, no, I'm ready for it. Here
okay. I was like,
oh. I dare to say that last cast, they were all about religion. They were all about Christianity. And if that isn't an example of how that really doesn't fit into this awareness and expansion that's really happening in this world, I'm seeing happen every day with people. This crew, they're not talking about that so much. They're moving with it without talking about it. They're not placing this falsehood of it needing to exist just to be fulfilled. They're just walking the walk and dropped and anchored in their own truth and their desires, and not being held back because of things being wrong or inappropriate. And it's so beautiful to see such a strong group moving freely.
I have to agree. That from last cast is very old paradigm, and it did cause a lot of stickiness and false connection. I don't buy it with Camille and Cornelius, and I don't buy her whole, here's your Jesus necklace and we're going to do this and that. Girl, bye.
Do you know how many actors pretend they're straight? I could list them all off, but I'm not trying to get blacklisted.
Right.
Cornelius is trying to play the game because, surprisingly enough, everyone knows. Everyone talks about it on the internet. They're like,
yeah, they're saying that. Like,
they know. Sure, but the thing is, this world is so small-minded that if he just says that he does and he has a girlfriend, that he'll still be cast. He'll still be able to be an actor. So many people do this. And it's so obvious in front of your faces, these people that are pretending that they are something they're not, aren't what they say they are. But they overlook it just because they buy the illusion. And I think, like we just said, that last cast is still such a representation of like what it looks like to move forward with the illusion in hand. And that's why Sabrina will be so much better on this cast from the last season.
Absolutely.
Because she's not about the illusion. And that's why she didn't fit in with anybody there. And that's why she watches this show and she has a recap going on right now at the same time as us, unfortunately. But
only this week.
Because I love to tune into her. She loves to tune into ours.
Yep.
But that's why she fits so much more into this, because she's not an old paradigm type of girl. But I dare to say, if she was on here, it'd be great to have this conversation with her. But she probably somewhere unconsciously thought that she still was a part of that, or needed to go through that process to heal herself, to watch this season and say, like we have with her on here, like, I do exist just the way that I am. Not that she didn't know.
Right.
But there was something that needed to be had. And that's why, as she would say, she was exactly where she was supposed to be. That wasn't on the season, but she needed to go through that to really just be able to step into herself and witness this as well and talk about it. That's why I love that she's talking about it too, because it's really good for her. It's cathartic, just like it is for us.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's definitely polarities there when I look at it. It was just, and I love the last cast so much, but it was a mix of, it's almost a depiction and a breaking down of like the old paradigm type of a thing, the last little residue of the performance-based acceptances that don't really work anymore. Nobody here in this cast is really trying to prove anything in a particular way so far. I mean, it comes out, but you know what I'm saying? I'm with their rules and agenda, it just,
they're a lot more present.
They're more present, more fun. Mm-hmm.
More free. That's why they're so free.
More free. That's the word I was looking for.
How dare us be free?
Goodness.
How dare thy?
You're having too much fun, too much freedom, and you're doing too much thinking for yourself.
Enough. Cut it out.
Lord have mercy.
Go sit in the corner and hate your life and be bored.
Right.
Rules. They're better for you. They're here to serve you. No, they're not.
I'm good.
No,
thank
especially
you.
with 40-year-olds like us and them, and you're not 40 yet. But yes, exactly. You've some the conversation I have all the time. It's when you intentionally sculpted your discernment with intention to be present. That's all. The rest you can just be present. You don't need to. No, the rules, the obligations, the format, all that shit. It doesn't work. It doesn't work for this evolution. For the light to shine as bright as it needs to right now. That doesn't serve its purpose. It serves its purpose to dim. And the dimming isn't happening so much in this world anymore. And it's fucking amazing to be alive and a part of it.
It is amazing. I feel really good right now. I'm really excited about it. And, it also makes me think too, of something my mom said. She was like, she was like, your 30s is great. But she almost can't articulate. She's like, when you get in your 40s, she was like, and she gives me that look like, girl, you've been there.
I know that.
And I feel that because it's just kind of like, I like the way you said shape, because it automatically makes me think of like a pottery class. Like you sit there, you put the water, you're pumping the thing, you're shaping it, you're molding it. And by the time you're done with this perfection of a craft, you just put that pretty thing up on the shelf, and this is what we're doing.
You let it live there.
This is here we are. We're not still. This was a craft.
Oh wait. There's a little bump. No, trust me, it's perfect the way that it is.
Oh yeah, exactly.
That bump can stay there. Just leave it. Just let it be.
Yep.
Those constant thoughts of improvement and perfection that have been such an older paradigm thought that has kept people from actually achieving stillness is being shown that doesn't benefit anybody truly, to find a place of happiness of what you just spoke of.
Yeah, and because that place of happiness is an authentic place. It's not a crafted out place that has been rules and everything. It's
crafted authentically.
Yes.
Right. It's very authentic. 100%. The best artists, they absolutely learn from somewhere and people help them along the way, but their best work comes when there's no assistance in their work.
Yeah.
When they allow their own hands and their own mind to cultivate that piece of art.
Yep.
Regardless of any outside influence.
And you got to get in there. You got to get your hands dirty.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I love it.
You don't have to get them dirty after a while anymore, but yes, you can.
Yeah, to get that thing going, you know what I'm saying? Go on and dive up in there and be a part of the process. Like you can. Yes.
A whole new world.
A dazzling place I never know. But now from way up here, it's crystal clear. With
oh look, you can tell look cheating, not even buttoned all the way.
Oh
yep,
God,
lazy.
Look, I better not stand up. I got a whole gray sweats on. This ain't button, but that's okay. This is all we care about. We're perfect.
100%. Back to the show. Back to the show. Sorry, we sidelined. That's why you come. Good. That's why you watch. That's why we talk. That's why we do this.
This is what we're doing. So yes, with Dakia, I love it. Cancer survivor. She's okay. I liked, again, I wanted to mention that it's okay if she has kids or doesn't have kids. I like that she's come to that conclusion, because that is also another freedom and flow there that a lot of women stress about, and so I love that she's I think that freedom is going to give her exactly what is meant for her journey, whatever it is. Like she said, if she has them, great. If not, great. It wasn't meant for her. She's okay either way. And that makes me happy. I'm at peace with her, for her, because I know how hard it can be.
Anybody that's faced kind of death within them, like for themselves, and seen it face on right in front of you, there's a type of freedom that comes afterwards when you realize you're lucky to be alive. And she definitely exudes that. It's beautiful.
I love it for her. Mm-hmm. Go off, Dakia. We're
here for it, Dakia.
And you know what? Even though Eric was a preacher's kid, he wasn't trying to preach to her now. He was still just very cool and very normal. He's a celebrity chef. He has his kids. He talked about being in Harlem and this. He's just a cool dude. So I'm actually looking forward to seeing more of him. And he's also really open to the process, but he kind of gives me Clifton vibes. When Clifton was like, "Ooh, I'm feeling joy," I feel like he's like, "I'm feeling Dakia." Like, I'm gonna play the game because there's some other people here I gotta meet, but Dakia.
I was trying not to reference it, so I'm glad you did for me, because I was feeling the same way.
Yeah.
Because they're both such a great example of like knowing what you want and being okay when you see it and not And the great thing, if we may, take us to the date where they are all gone at the 6 of them. Was it 4 or 6 of them?
Which one was the date? The painting date?
Yes.
Yeah, let's talk about
so
that.
move on to the painting date where they're both there, and the way that they were both able to still just not be triggered by the conversations and the willingness to just get to know other people. The fact that they were just there saying, look, I know what I'm here for. I know why I'm on this show. It's to get to know as many of these people as possible to find my person. And although their instinct and intuition is already saying, okay, well, here we go. And the show already knows. So that's why they place them together, which is great because I love the matchmaking that's happening this season, that they're actually doing matchmaking itself.
Yes.
Intentionally, maybe even more than before. That they still can just move so effortlessly in a group setting. And there was no like ratchetry, and there was no like jealousy. People were just getting to know each other and vibe, and like, yeah, they put on a little bit and they get back a little bit, but then you could see like, okay, I gave and take that energy exchange, and it's still not what it is with the one over there sitting across the room still giving me the eyes on purpose and intentfully to make sure that they know I'm still here. Like, intention, people, intention.
And it's just fine. We grown. Like,
they're appreciating each other.
Yeah, exactly. And when you do that, you want to give people freedom. Like, I want you to choose me because you want to be here, not because, like, again, to reference last season, once Camille locked into Cornelius, she was breathing down his neck. She was threatening people, telling them, if you vote my man off, we gonna have an issue today. We got to let people breathe. Like, let's let it breathe. I wonder how they're doing. I haven't stalked any of her things. Yeah, I think I'm over it.
I don't like watching inauthentic things that aren't real, based in substance. It's a waste of time.
Right. So I actually thought the group date was a really cute idea, and I might have to like implement something like that to paint and then switch it up and have people. I love that co-creation of energy just for fun over drinks. That was just really cool. And yeah, I'll probably have to create something like that one day, because I was like, oh, that's a good idea. I like that.
Yeah, they have those like sip and paints or whatever it's called. Like there's like, like they have for that place. And I've always wanted to do that. I thought it'd be so much fun. I am an artist, a performing artist, but I'm not a visual artist. I can't even draw a straight line. So I'm definitely gonna need some vino and just take to the glass and take to the canvas and see what happens. But I liked, like you said, they added to each other's thing. That was the fun part.
So much.
It was like, let's see what this is gonna be. Even though he was trying to have a rest in peace dead cat pimp.
Cornelius with your cat pimp. Ooh, pimp.
I'm sorry, Cornelius, how old are you calling your cat pimp?
Cornelius.
That's okay. 14 years ago, I would.
Yeah, because it was an old cat.
And actually, you know what? The older I get, the more actually I might even call it slut. I'd be like, slut, come here, slut.
You're just out in public and people
slutty,
are like, oh,
come here, slutty. Exactly. There you go. Look at you, you little slut. You little slut. You're so cute, you little slut.
I do love on that date how Ace spoke about she's being pulled out of her comfort zone. There was just something about that stuck out to me, and I like that she acknowledged it and kind of said it out loud, because it's kind of like your stake in the ground, like, I'm here for it though. So that was really cute. I love that she spoke up about that. So I just wrote that as a note.
It's the first time I saw her.
Yeah, didn't you feel something with that?
Yeah, saw her.
Go, Ace.
Yeah, she wasn't putting on this whole protective barrier, which is spirituality and soft and crazy. But she was still being soft and sensual and just being herself, but like open. It was a beautiful thing to break past that barrier, because people can get real caught up in the spiritual world and spiritual narcissism people. Trust me, I've been there. Yeah. So when you can break past that and realize I can still be human and still be in tune with my highest self. I don't need to put on to be zen and feel zen. That is zen, a huge breakthrough. I am made of zen. I am made of that energy innately. That's transformative. So I feel like she had like a transformative moment on TV, and it was so beautiful to witness.
Yeah, I saw her. I was like, I really like this. I like this for her because she's such a beautiful woman. And I always put myself.
She's such a catch.
Oh, she's amazing. And I put myself in their shoes and I'm like, you know, I wonder if it'd take me a minute to warm up. Like, you kind of don't have time to warm up. There's what, 10 episodes? So it's like by episode 3, you better have it together, really, like kind of quick.
Yeah.
But I think she's like warmed up to the process a little bit if I have it correctly. And I can see it. I love it. And I hope it continues because I'm not really saying that I can see an actual mate for her, even though her and Laverne are big chopping it up on the phone. I love that she admitted to that. He's like, he calls me all the time. He's this and that. Who knows? But I'm just loving this process for her. And then I also made a note that Joy shines. She just has it. Joy is cool. She's the cool kid on the block. She's so...
And I bet you anything Joy wasn't the cool kid growing up.
Yeah, she has a unique upbringing, you know?
Joy had to go through a lot to really be able to face herself and be this ball of bright light that she is. She
shines.
She shines. I could go on with the adjectives and nouns and everything of how great she is. She's just... And it makes no sense why Homeboy's in love with her already, you know? Not to skip ahead, but yeah, like 100%.
Yeah. No, I love it. So that was great. The painting date was fun. I love how they all kicked it. They all seemed like friends and couples, and like I can see them in the house just drinking, eating. They just seemed like homies. It was just a beautiful moment. So I love that. That was a great date. Unlike, in my opinion, what the heck was going on with the AP, Sabrina, Wiley, Troy, Demetrius situation? Is it Troy or Tori? Lord have mercy. I think it's Troy. I hope it's Troy and not Tori, but y'all know who I'm talking about. The homie with the braids.
Bad with names, so this does not help.
Okay, we didn't talk about AP and Clifton
State.
It's
TV. You need all of it, first of all. Right?
You need all of it. But in contrast with the group dates, for me, I was like, I don't even have much to say about. I don't. First of all, I really wanted AP to get. She should have said something to Demetrius. Call him up to that front other seat. Go back there. What? She didn't want to talk to Wiley. There's nothing wrong with Wiley, but it was obvious. It's a no match. She's 10 years older than him. He reminds her of one of her students. That's not what space she's in. They are a no match. Why aren't you talking to Demetrius? That was a little bit more possible than... I just don't understand. He was just sitting back there looking around. I didn't like that.
I mean, it's I don't know. I'm going to give Demetrius a little slight on this because it's a van. Like, what are you supposed to do? And like, I don't know. What if he was like, shit, I forgot to put a piece of gum in my mouth. Like, I don't want to be that close to somebody till we get out and talk. I don't know. I'm just trying to play more circumstances to be the devil's advocate. But enough being nice. Yeah. People need to pull the fuck up. This is a TV show. You have a limited amount of time. And when you're put in the situation, utilize it as much as you possibly can. Every single ounce of it. Squeeze out that juice so that you can get that lemonade you came here to freaking make and drink.
And I specifically said that about AP and Demetrius because she said in her confessional, like, why was he sitting way back there? I wanted him to do it. So then why didn't you do that? This is, come on, AP. This is what, and I know it's your first episode premiering, so we're giving you a little grace, but we don't have time for grace. There's only 10 episodes.
And you also get that need to see yourself and why you're here and what's holding you back. And what's holding you back is not going after what you want.
Yeah.
Because people don't read your mind. Trust me, we all know this. We all go through the same thing she's going through. We all like, why aren't they coming to talk to us? Well, what you find out later is that you should have just went and talked to them if that's how you felt. There are no rules. And if you want something, you have to speak up.
That would have been amazing. I really wanted her to get up and walk back there because Wiley,
to do what she wants.
Yeah, he's enough of a personality. He's extremely engaging. He was conversing with her. He just seems like a nice guy. He would have jumped in conversation with Sabrina and Troy. And, made it whatever it is. I hope it's not Tori, Troy. Lord have mercy. What is this man's name?
But maybe she's just a little insecure still. Like I get that. That's where it came from with me, essentially.
I understand that.
It was too insecure to do it. So I just wish somebody else would. And I think that's the whole test you have to pass then, right? You have to show, because if you still stay in that space, you're not really available. Nobody's going to want to be with somebody who can... that's gonna read off as still being insecure, and when you want to grow in sexy love, there's no really room or space for that.
Right.
The experience.
It's Tori. I knew my old notes had it written correctly. My bad, Tori. Tori.
My bad.
No, I completely agree. And so that happened, whatever. So AP was introduced to the scene with this date with Clifton, which I didn't think was so much of a match, but I'm glad they put Clifton in that space. I think I might have rather they had picked Demetrius out to go on the blind date with AP at first. But I mean, because Clifton, first of all, okay, this is just for me. I don't know if I could be with a vegan. Like, what are we gonna do when I'm cooking bacon in the morning? I'm gonna eat my bacon. I'm going to eat the cheeseburger. I like steaks and I don't want to disrespect you. If you're gonna be kissing me in the mouth, we're gonna be having sex, and meat does not work for you. I don't want to be bothered. I'm gonna eat this meat. So Clifton looks like he down steaks for breakfast. Like,
it's steak and eggs every morning.
It's steak and eggs every morning. So
with a side of bacon and ham.
That he slaughtered himself in the backyard. No problem.
Like, he's like chomping on it while he's like cleaning the blood off the blade in the wash. Might even eat it raw. Like at this point. Like, that's how much he looks like a carnivore. Exactly. But to be fair, well, here, parlay off of what you said. Yeah, I don't know if I could be with a vegan as much as I could definitely go a season of being a vegan and drop in and out of it. And I thoroughly enjoy vegan food, so I absolutely would go to. I have gone on dates to vegan restaurants, even though I'm not vegan, just because I enjoy it. It's an experience.
Absolutely.
But when it's a fundamental truth of how you live your life, it's a lifestyle. They're really difficult to coincide together for sure.
Yeah, what am I gonna like? I gotta make 2 different dinners every night. What are we doing when we grocery shop?
And we want ease. We want ease. We want ease. Yeah. We want ease. We don't want to be thinking about the extra. No.
It's a little situation.
I can use those extra thoughts I'd be using on that to like make sure I'm more present with you. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. It's energy. So it costs and requires. I do like her energy though. She seems really sweet. I want her to be taken care of. She is a widow. I love that she, I was very turned on by the turning pain into power and purpose. I'm all about that when it comes to women because it's such a great way to alchemize and transform the things that you've been through and make it something positive. Like, own it. The most beautiful things that have come out of people came from a rose growing from the concrete. This was hard, this hurt, this was painful, but this is what I got from it. And now I have a lesson to share. So the fact that she ushers women into that, I love that for her spirit. I love the beauty in that and in the Zumba. So I just love her and, who she is and what she has going on. I can't tell yet. It's only been 1 episode. She kind of gives me vibes like Tiffany, the last girl who went home. So I guess we'll see.
There's that similar feeling of insecurity that Tiffany had, just in the sense of, was she ready to move like this yet? Is she in the space where she's capable of moving at an accelerated motion with people who are so much more healed and self-aware? That's not a dig. That's not a read. That's just more of a possible observation,
Yeah, I'm with you. And 2, B said, vegan is not for me. I always got to have my burgers. Girl.
Yeah. I can get away with it. Like I love me a vegan burger. That's easy. Absolutely. Not beyond meat, but like other things, like for sure. But like when it comes down to it, when I want it, I'm going to want it.
And I'm going to be doing that.
Because there are a lot more modalities that are better and beneficial to making this a green place and earth and eco-friendly. And as much as people talk about veganism being that way, it's not. Actually, the highest rate of pollution comes from our military complexes. So if we could actually just learn to love each other and be a little more peaceful, that'd be a huge cutoff in the emissions, which make this a better place. Okay? Then I can still have my fucking bacon and my fucking steak in the morning. Okay? Thank you.
Thanks.
Sorry, I just went there. Oh my God, I'm sorry.
I mean, this message has been brought to you by keepitreal.org. Tap in, tune in anytime. We're here.
We're going off track. I like it.
Yeah, so we'll see. And you know what I was thinking too? Yeah, the reservation. She seems reserved.
Yeah,
So
which
you
can
know
be
what?
many
I don't know.
things. So,
Yeah, I was
go
gonna say
say
because
it.
I was like, I was trying to think who she should be paired up with. But no, she can't. Paul, he's hectic. She can't do that. I don't know. Speaking of Paul, I'm so sorry. I can't say this about Paul. He did give me much more likability this episode. I felt like he's somebody I could sit down and eat with. He wasn't giving all the P, yo, baby, deliver the but. Like, at least you're telling me a little bit about your childhood, a little bit about who you are. I've always been mischievous. I've always been entrepreneurial. I did this one day. Like, I just felt like, okay, this is a human that can have a conversation, and it's not just you throwing this weird, what would your poetry night be called if you had a poetry night? Like, I don't know, like
um, we all know how I feel about Paul.
Look, B said, did you tell Gus what I messaged you about Paul?
No.
Her sentiments are the same. Just
thank you, B.
The balcony, like it's fine.
The balcony. Yeah. But I will say this episode, he kind of surprised me a little bit.
He surprised me.
In the sense that at the end, we're just going to jump. That's what we do. We play our own rules here. At the jump, he held accountability for himself. After resistance, he was like, but I guess if everyone's saying it's probably something. Yes, absolutely. If everybody is saying something to you, you should definitely look it over. It's like the number one thing you should do in life. Not that everyone's opinion matters, but if people like these people, especially, right? Especially if they're people from all different works and walks of life that you've never seen before, and everyone is saying that as a collective, that's the number one sign that should go bing, 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 bing. And I'm glad you heard the bing bings because I thought that you were going to be deaf to that sound. So I was really proud of Paul.
Yeah. He can be a likable guy. I get it.
I don't know.
He's different.
He's still not my vibe, but
I know. You know me. I'm always trying to just give him a little moment. I try to give people some space, and I want to let him be him. And it was just nice to see something different.
Yeah, he can go be him somewhere else, not in my space.
I'll eat with you, Paul. I'll eat with you. Like, we can't kick it every day, but I'll eat with you. You know?
No, to be fair, I feel like someone like Paul would be a great business person to have on my side. I could be friends with them. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. But I'm talking about in terms of intimacy. As a person around me, someone like Paul all day, every day to do business with. For sure.
Yeah. Done. Right. But he can probably get in the room.
You can go over there. Over there. I call him Steve Urkel's love child. B coming through with the jokes. Paul as Steve Urkel's love child. And that's if Steve Urkel even ever had sex. So that is some deep shit right there.
Oh my God. Boom. And we must be talking about Urkel because we know Jalil got a daughter, look just like him. You know, I don't know what it is about Paul, and might be a little bit too touchy, but he reminds me of R. Kelly. Not because he gives me like nasty vibes. He doesn't give me those vibes, but it's just, I don't know. He looks like he can be R. Kelly's brother or something. I don't know. I'm sorry, not sorry.
No, it's an air. It's the same kind of air. It's like and it's this ignorant air of like, I'm living in my fantasy. Nobody else's reality matters, but everyone else's reality of me is completely the truth.
Yeah, maybe it's something like that. And they're both music producers, so maybe there's something like that world.
It's that vibe.
Yeah.
I've been around many of the music producers, and that's definitely a vibe that some of them have. Some you know, create great freaking music. So it's nothing to be, you know.
He's successful at it. He's very successful from what I heard. So I mean, I get it. Do your thing. Like a lot of genius-minded people have this weird way of working. And so I wanted to ask you, because something came to me when he was talking, and I was just like, I wonder, you know. He was like, you know, failure is not an option. And sometimes I think of this when I think of my dad. And I was going to ask you, do you feel like there's a pressure as a man to perform and like, do you feel like you have this nonstop, like failure is not an option. I have to do this and that because if I don't, no one's going to catch me type of a deal. Because he said that. He was like, yeah, basically failure is not an option because he don't have who's going to catch me if I fall. And so when I think about my dad, I think about that for him. Like, gosh, who would really catch my dad?
Yeah.
If he slipped or had a season or.
Yeah.
And that's a pressure of sorts.
Absolutely. Where do I start? First of all, pressure is a privilege. I'm just going to say that. Billie Jean King, she'll tell you, she always told Serena, press it. Sorry, I just had a little think about my thing, and it's Apple, meaning that my thing probably was sent, so I get my new computer next week, and I just got excited. Billie Jean King always told Serena Williams, pressure is a privilege, and I truly believe that. Okay. So to move with that state of mind, yeah, it's a privilege to be able to feel this way, but on the other end of it, to feel that amount of weight, so to speak, could be exhausting. But look, I've learned that when I carry that weight, I can't take steps. And so I allowed that weight to pile on and on and on, because that was my intention and that was my theology and philosophy of what you're speaking of, and did that go. That weight kept pounding so much on that I ended up falling to my knees into the ground and realizing like that's not the perspective of how to move forward. And when you say that about Paul, that makes a lot of sense to his perspective and why it's hard for me to actually want to converse with him then. So yeah.
And I think that's kind of what Sabrina 2.0 was saying too, was just like his energy not being something that she could get was because it's too nonstop and too go. And you know, as a woman and you know, as a person, as a future partner, let's just say, I think about that because I want to be able to be with someone and they're going to have that energy that you speak of on their own. But how beautiful is it to get with somebody and you know you have each other?
Yeah.
I want to make sure that whoever I'm with, they understand like, yes, babe, go get it. Failure is not an option, but we have each other. We have each other. I don't want any man or woman or anybody to feel like the weight is on them. Partnership is important, whether it's community, whatever it's going to be, partnership. Like that just warms my heart. It activates me, and it makes me feel like valuable. Like, of course I'm valuable, but that's a valuable thing to have in this life and in this world and in this time. And it's important. You know,
and ain't it amazing when it does happen? So
I can imagine.
Yeah, right. Likewise,
I felt that before too. Like my motto was if I don't do it, it's not going to get done. And I had the same thing. I was at my knees, like, "Whew, that is not the way. I got to get this off my shoulders. I got to learn how to flow, and make it that a choice."
That makes me move on to what I was going to say, and you just said it for me. Essentially, is that like, I don't think it's just a man thing. I think it's a human thing.
It's a human thing.
You just said it yourself. So
yeah, absolutely. Hey, Nay J in the chat.
What up?
Welcome. Do y'all review Married at First Sight? No.
We want to this season, though. We're going to do it. That's what we're doing.
Okay, we'll do it.
We're obsessed.
Oh,
when does it start?
I don't know. Are we behind? I know Love.
I think it starts like
is Blind started, but
oh, that's what I was talking about. Love is Blind. We were gonna do that.
Married at First Sight. We had fun discussing that.
We do that off phone. Right.
Yeah. But we haven't.
As you can tell.
Yeah.
But yeah, we definitely want to do. I think it's Love is Blind is about to start, right? We got to get on that one.
I think it's already started, to be honest.
Like yesterday, if anything. If it started, it was like yesterday. So we got to get on that this week too.
Yes.
Thank you for that reminder, my man. Thank you for being here.
Thursday or Friday. Okay.
There we go. Okay.
We'll look into it because that could be really fun.
And it started. Do you know when it started? Since you're here, so we can't Google because we're talking right now with you. Do you know any more information for us, please?
Yeah, let us know. Yeah. So but that's really good. So yes, partnership. But I do like the way Sabrina 2.0 too was honest. I mean,
you
give me daddy back. Like, I can't, this is not what I'm looking for. This is not it.
But she is the 2.0 of Sabrina. I mean, not that I know her before that, but of her own self. Oh, episode 6. We got a lot to catch up.
Oh, okay. We're going to have to look into that. It's like the season's half over. Yeah.
We gonna look at that. We gonna look at that. But that's just for Married at First Sight. Love is Blind, I think, is just like started last week or is starting like this week.
Yeah, we'll look into it.
So Sabrina, it really is that version 2.0 version of herself, I believe. Not that I knew her beforehand, but the proof in the pudding for that. And remember, I had hesitation because anyone that speaks it usually is kind of like me. I'm like, yeah, but can you walk the walk or can you talk the walk? Whatever that's fucking saying is.
Right.
But now that I just messed up that whole little clip that we could have had. Sabrina proved that she is a 2.0 version of herself by handling herself with such class. Like she was able to express her feelings that from another mindset or perspective or somebody that hasn't done the work could have probably triggered or hurt somebody because they could have been reacting out of their own insecurities and fear. She handled that with such grace. I was like 2.0.
And honesty. Sure. And it's like, it's okay. And to be honest, Paul received it well. When you're honest, I think people underestimate people.
Yeah.
People hide truths and don't say things in particular ways because they think they're going to offend somebody or they want to assume how somebody is going to respond to them. And that's not our responsibility. Our responsibility is to be truthful and honest. And that is such a telltale sign of somebody being ready to be in a relationship, because you're going to have to be able to communicate with your partner fearlessly, but do it with love, do it with truth. Like, give people an opportunity to hear your truth and respond. Like, give them a chance to meet you at your adulthood, to meet you at your maturity, to meet you at your truth. Because now there's not going to be this weird underlying thing where it's like, does she like me? Should we go out again? He's in deliberation, talk about maybe Sabrina 2.0 could be this. And she's in there like, now get ready. Let's just clear the confusion and keep it all the way funky. That's what we're
authentic
here for.
In there. But
we don't need to do any more dates.
And because obviously he's attracted to her, right?
Yeah,
she's beautiful.
Oh my God.
And he's an older man that is, he is who he is.
He wants to eat her up.
100%. So, but the fact that she was still able to be there and have that conversation without her preconceived notion, because I'm sure she's not attracted to him physically. So, but she was still able to show up fully. Yeah. And even with his intentional desires, probably of a physical relationship with her, she was still able to receive it with grace and wasn't like triggered. Like, so he's not as dumb as I thought he was, is what I'm trying to say.
No, I'm proud of both of them. I'm glad they enjoyed the meal. I'm glad they got to learn a little bit about each other, and we're done. That's
honesty
totally
is the best
fine.
Policy.
This is dating. This is what dating looks like. It's fine. Love that. Okay, so I thought the bowling date was fun. First of all, I love bowling. The highest score I've ever bowled was a 289. How about you?
Liar.
Oh, I don't need to lie to
Liar.
kick it. I'm talking about strike after strike, turkey after turkey. I be getting lucky days now.
No, you are extremely competitive in the best way possible. And that's why you're great at so many things. It's great. We're the same way. That's why we're friends. We've always been like that. Unfortunately, I don't remember my highest score, but that's an incredible score. I believe it full-heartedly. And I would be surprised if you didn't do it just once.
That's what I was about to say. It was only once, but I'll never forget that. Okay.
Totally.
So I felt bad for Uncle Paul, even though I think he's a bad fit for the show. I understand. I get where you're coming from, because trust me, I know you've been watching our reviews. The first two were like, get this man out of here.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
getting to know him, it's like, oh, buddy.
That's very kind of you for have empathy toward him. I don't. I don't feel any type of sorry or sympathy for him at all. He's a grown-ass man. He's older, like me. He's grown. So he is who he is. And this is a great opportunity. And there's nothing wrong with the way that he is. But I think if he's truly is searching for the type of love that this show can provide for you, there's a lot of growth that needs to be had. And there's a change of communication style, a switch of perspective that's going to need to open you up, which is going to allow you to receive that type of love that you're seeking. So that's why I don't feel bad for him. I think this is a great opportunity for him to really get what he wants. Popo still got to go. He showed up. Yeah. Defund Uncle Paul. Defund Uncle Paul.
Oh, Popo still gotta go.
Defund PO. Defund PO.
That is hilarious. Okay, I love it. So this bowling date, Paul said he bowls a 300. So this is one of the notes that I put down is I love the way Laverne said, he was like, I'm gonna pushing the envelope because she's got it in her. And he was talking about Joy. Will she take the envelope? Laverne is wild. And he read that perfectly. He is so observant.
Why do you think sat back the first episode and let people come to him? He saw. Very observant. Very.
He is wildly observant, which is actually kind of a turn on. You need
100%.
somebody around that 100%. Can see and knows what's going on. And he is
intuition
sharp.
Is delicious. Because that is a trait that I can rely on for substance for life.
Come on. I really love that. He was right. Like, he is so observant and intuitive because Joy can handle it. So if he pushes the envelope, is she gonna take it? Sometimes she does. Like, they can, and she's not offended. She said that because for some people with all the grab my butt and do this and do that, I think, did somebody else say that was too much? Was it? I feel like somebody else that was
someone
talking
had a problem
to Laverne
with it. I forget
said
which
it was
one.
an issue. Yeah. But then you see the difference and she's just like, I'll do that later. Where Carmen was like, and Joy just gave him a little sauce. And so I love his authenticity and his ridiculousness. He's full of shenanigans, but he's actually a cool guy. I don't know what to expect with this man, and that's kind of cool.
I don't either, and that's why I think he's such a good match for Carmen. She can handle a guy like that. He knows that he needs a strong woman like that in his corner because he is a character.
He is. He really is. So I really loved that. Did you have a favorite part when it came to the bowling alley? That was cute and fun.
You said it. You said everything I would have said.
Okay.
Yeah, that was it was fun. And yeah, I like bowling too. So I wanted to be there.
I know.
I wanted to be in that bowling next to them, just like watching, like not getting a 280 because I wouldn't be paying attention to my game because I'd be too like eavesdropping. Like, what's going on over there?
Grab his butt. What? Grab who?
What? Do it. Do it. Yeah, get in there.
Go off. I love that. Okay, so that brings us to the cutest, most yummiest, most warmest, deadliest date of the whole show. This man almost died at the table. First of all, what was so cute is how he got up to get the bite. He's such an eager little kid. I was like,
loves her.
Oh my God. I was like, that is so cute. Like, you're so...
man, oh man, oh man. Like, it was so sweet and cute. And I was like dying. I was like, this is so cute. And then he almost died. Like, I was in this whole thing. I can only imagine what it would have been like to have been both of them in this situation dealing with it. You go ahead and read that one because
I like Laverne saying, grab my butt. It's cute and silly. Nothing is wrong with a man wanting to be dominated. Equal rights, after all.
Couldn't have said it better myself, my man.
I mean...
And that's why Carmen is such a great match for him.
Because she was like,
because
your thighs is looking big. Get up. Like, what we got? What we working with?
She'll be like, turn on. What? Yeah.
Maybe it'll go somewhere.
I hope. I look forward to that.
Yes.
But the cutest little, the cutest close call to death I've ever seen in my life.
The cutest close call to death. And I was really watching him too, like, I was waiting. Is he going to sweat? Is he going to itch? I was like looking for something. I was like, anything. Is he okay?
Love. It was that love in the air.
He was like, I'm not going
That
home.
Allergic reaction was not going. Exactly.
Nah, I'm not going
He wasn't going nowhere. Love.
I've been waiting for this.
It can break anything. It transmutes all things. Hanging.
I agree.
Joy.
Oh my God. Like,
they are so freaking cute. I just can't. They are like, I love it. I love it because I am just like, thank you for giving me the material that I need to be specific and clear.
Ooh.
Oh, I love watching it. I love it.
Yeah, that was really good. I love that we're seeing a well-roundedness of her personality because she gives it anyway. I trust her personality. So I'm not looking at her like, oh, she's one note or we're not getting to see her. I like her unfolding. Yeah. And I like how she feels comfortable with him and even got watery in her confessional because God, I hate that her father is not here with her. I can't imagine spending my whole life with a parent and them not being here anymore.
And
that's hard. And that is going to be, I'm not trying to speak this over her, but that's going to be hard forever. There's always going to be a moment. It doesn't have to be something that she's brooding over in every moment. But how could you not talk about your father and the person that raised you and that was your best friend and just not feel some kind of way? And the fact that Clifton can hold space for that in many different ways because he wants to, because he can relate, and he has the capacity.
All of it.
Now I'm not alone in this grief, you know? And
100%.
that is just...
And, earlier I had said she had to go through some stuff to be who she is. And there you go. I forgot about that for a second. So that's why she can shine so bright. She's faced the dark of the night. She's come through it. And she will continue to do so. I like to think that with somebody like Clifton, it won't be heavy anymore after a while. When you realize that he hasn't left you, really, this is just a physical plane. He's still right around you. Trust me, he is holding your back up right now while you are sitting here with this man, giving you the intuitive guidance to do and move the way that you are moving. It's pretty special. Now, what do you feel? Joy is my favorite.
Hearing that a lot.
How can she not be? How could she not be? She's just so joyful. Dad joke. How do you feel about Clifton being like, what is it? 2 years out? 1 year out. 1 year out
of his second
divorce. How does that make you feel?
I think that because it depends. Because I remember, from last season when it came to Dante, I was like, 3 baby mamas, 3 kids. Like, he seems so sweet, but like, damn.
We were like, bye.
Damn, Dante, damn. You was busy.
And look at
But in the beginning of the season, Dante also spoke a lot about his journey and his intentionality and evolving as a person. And I would need that in order to be with or consider somebody who has 3 kids by 3 different women, because I need to see that there's a change in this pattern that you have. This was a pattern. With Clifton, I haven't seen that yet. He makes me a little bit nervous with that because, he's a good-looking man, which means he's sought after by many women. And I feel like sometimes with good-looking men, they get caught up. So he can do the love bombing, and that's what I want. And and then he rolls into this thing, and then boom, he's married, and then now it doesn't work. Like, have you taken the moment? Because he feels confident. He's like, I've been divorced for a year, and I did the work. But if it was me dating him, I would want to know, what does do the work mean to you? What's different about what you're doing now? And all these things. So I love how you mentioned with Joy that she's being divinely guided and all this and that, because she said something specifically, 1 day at a time. So as juicy as he looks, as fun as it is, like I personally feel like this is where I would have to invite in logic and analysis and not allow my drunken loveness to just whisk me off into Clifton land without just being a little bit more grounded and knowledgeable about the decision. Not too much like, oh my God, he's to put past wounds on, like, well, he's done this, so he's this way, But I do want to understand. I think it would be important for us to get to know each other. I want to know more about you, to see where your head's really at. We're talking about heart, matters of the heart. This is,
I like the way that you phrased it. And then Clifton is who again? Clifton is the one,
the big burly 6 foot,
the one that's with Joy, like the one almost died at the dinner with Joy. The coconut. He's allergic to coconut. And he's been on quite a few dates. The burly one, the kind one, but from the jump, him and Joy have had that connection. The last episode, he's the one that was like, "Where you going? They ain't closing yet. I'm not done with you." That's who he is. I really like how you framed that. I liked your thoughtfulness in how you said what that would entail for you, the kind of conversation that would be necessary. Because the way you said it didn't feel pressureful. It didn't feel like, in the sense, and I do not like that word pressure when it comes to relationships, but pressure in the sense of having to perform consistently and prove myself to you.
Right.
It's more so of, making sure that we are intentionally having these certain conversations that are building what's necessary for us to really move forward. So I need to know that that part of you is capable of building again, that your arm isn't still broken. So yeah, I hear what you're saying. Just for my personal thing too.
Yeah.
I just talked to a guy today and he was like, yeah, we broke up 6 months ago. And I was like, damn, 6 months ago? He's like, yeah, I'm ready. I did therapy. Da, da, da. And to me, in my own head, in my own mind, I'm like, that's not ready. You need time still. 3 years together, you need time. But I can't really fully evaluate somebody without asking the right questions, without doing that and being there for that to happen. So a year automatically for me, I'm like that. You need more time than a year, but I'm not him. He's not me. We all function completely differently. I am very deeply emotional. My things need to be sorted. I handle and go about life differently. So I am not one to say that a 6 months or a year is not long enough for somebody. And I think I've had an opinion on that so much in my life that it wasn't. And now I feel like that's changed. It's like, no, who am I to say? Your actions and your words and the way you show up will show me. That's
absolutely.
It. I don't need to hold on to my idealism of what that is and think that's not completely. That's because it's like I remember having these conversations with my friends. They believe, and my older friend Colleen, she was like, get under him to get over him by getting under me. Like and I'm like, that doesn't work for me. Like that to me is falsehood.
A distraction.
You're not dealing with the core. You're satisfying a part of you that's not actually needing to be satisfied. So you're actually ignoring the root of the pain of the hurt that had happened. So that's still going to be lingering, and I'm going to have to deal with that if I'm going to be in a relationship with you. That's just facts. So it's about where is that line? And like you said, simply put, now after 5 minutes of talking, the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah, and it's such a nuanced thing, right? Because I was in a relationship for 5 years. We were engaged, but sometimes when it doesn't work out, you're breaking up for a lot of that time already. So just because the end date was March of whatever, it's like 6 months later, like
apart for a while.
Yeah, it's
100%.
been. So there's just so many nuances to like.
Yes.
Some people know after it happens, like, ooh, this isn't the one, and they have to work their way out of it. And while they're working their way out of it, they're working on themselves. Blah, blah. So it just gets insane.
Therapy. They're in therapy. They're doing all the stuff. It's giving them more closure and clarity that this isn't working.
Yeah.
No doubt about that.
Yeah. So it's like such a process that's so independent. But since we've all gone through our own processes, let's talk about that, because I need to know.
Clifton is way too sexual. Ever since he has referenced sex through innuendo, he's not looking for love. He's looking for a hole.
Ooh. That's not the first time I heard that.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me, that thought process from people, but I am a different type of person. I don't gather that from him. I think he's just being human. I think he's in tune with his sensuality, which is a really healthy thing, especially at his age, because if Joy ain't being capable of producing what he needs sexually, then they're not going to be a match, and he's going to end up diving into this role of love and emotion, but she's not going to fulfill what he needs, and they're going to get divorced or break up again. But I think it's I don't know how old you are, but as people in their 40s, there's nothing wrong with it, and I think it's a necessary thing. So yeah.
Okay, you're like me, because I can't stand when I'm typing fast and I don't use to
100%.
The right way so I had to give you that. Just want the peoples to know you know what you're doing.
She don't do that to me. I'm doing it all the time, not even knowing I'm doing it.
I need it to be right. I'm on both sides of the fence with that, because I get it. To me, sometimes, because sex is just as natural as eating and breathing, sometimes it could go without being said. Sometimes it can go without being said, and sometimes because I remember him and Dakia, they talked about it, blah, blah, blah. That's a tough one. I understand why that's said. I don't know if I get like, ooh, calm down vibes from him.
I don't get calm down vibes at all.
You're doing too much. Like,
I'm not at all.
But I get.
Not at all. I think people that are a little more on the reserve side are going to say calm down. I'm not saying that you're reserved, my man. I don't know you. But I think people that are just more in tune with their sensuality are going to be like, he's testing the waters. He's seeing if this, stop being gay for a second. It's not possible. I was born this way. He's testing the water. He's not just in the sense of dipping his toes in the water, literally. No, I mean, he's testing the water and his surroundings to see how these people are going to be able to handle his authentic self, the way that he moves and his sensuality. And the right woman is going to be able to see that and recognize that in him and not be insecure because they're going to that's just a different modality of movement.
Yeah, and that resonates because Dakia had fun with it. It's funny because I be in the streets, and by in the streets I mean Twitter. Which stick around to the end of the show because we have our special segment in the streets with Twitter. We have some tweets to share with you guys.
Straight to Twitter, man.
Twitter don't give a damn, okay? And so I get the difference in energy because sometimes I can be like that. Sometimes I can be that woman who if it's too overt for me, it's not because I'm not willing to do it. It's just like there's an energy to it. However, Gus, when you say what you say about Clifton, I'm more on that side. I didn't get that calm down vibe from him. I think he is. Yeah, he is testing the waters and he threw it out there. Like, again, Dakia, she's really fun. The way she caught it and did it. Like, I'm just letting you know I'm down.
Because
I'm not,
because you can go back to last season and Walter, who didn't talk about it much and kind of held face on it. And we didn't know where he stood on that to find out.
Walter?
Walter was a freak.
No, first of all, Walter, I told you Walter looked like a freak, number one. Number two, on that date with Courtney, Camille, and Cornelius, he was very clear about, I need what I need.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
I guess. But I just mean the sense of how he acts now and like what he's doing. And, because we heard some things, right? Didn't he have a girlfriend the whole time or something like that?
Yeah. Like maybe he had a girlfriend the whole time. He'd be doing sex parties. And to be honest, he reeks of it. He really does.
And that's what I'm trying to say. He reeks of it, right?
I would be he's the type of person who would make me uncomfortable, like too much, just because it's a different energy.
If I was sitting in his energy and that was coming off to me, I wouldn't trust it.
No,
I wouldn't trust it.
No, because it's not about authentic connection and you seeing who I am. Like you try, like you're hard right now. Like you're really trying to poke something today.
And just for the sake of doing it. If I wanted that to happen, great. But if not, no. But but then I know where that's going. I know where your mind is focused right now.
And then too, I
know where you're building momentum toward, and that's toward the bedroom, not toward the home. So.
And I need to be, when we get in that home, I need to be able to trust you because there's a lot of beautiful people. There's a lot of overtly sexual people. There's a lot of people who are going to be flirting with you. This is about trust as well. Like to me, I feel I'm a good looking woman. I want a good looking man. I want us to be able to trust each other when we're out. Can you handle when things are being thrown at you? Or are you so just like unable because you're just so unable?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I got to know that, that's important.
Yeah.
So yes, I did like with Joy and Clifton too. How it warmed my heart when she said, "I see parts of me in you." Just like that is what you want. It's not about wanting a twin version of yourself, but just being able to see parts of yourself in somebody. That felt bonding. That's like bonding.
Because you know that they see you, and when you feel seen, you feel comfortable and you feel secure.
Yeah,
100%. It was delicious. That's the goal.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. My dream is to be with somebody that I can feel safe being my full self with, and I've actually never had that. In all the relationships and situations, I've never felt fully safe being the fullest version of me. Just because.
Also, haven't really felt comfortable and okay with being yourself authentically. So
there's just so many parts to it. Ooh,
well, you are now, first of all. Okay, so calm down. Okay, trust me, you're there now. So now you get to lead with that.
Yeah, and see where identify the container that will actually be able to.
Yeah, absolutely. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, exactly. So looking forward to that. So that was very warming. Clifton, he talked about he needed to be strong, pain and loss, comfy and safe. These were just some words that I put. And it really is the makings of a delicious masterpiece. So I really hope that they continue to move forward in a healthy way. I know I'm a gorgeous woman. You
go off. You gotta claim it. And yes. And what?
You know what you know. And here goes Clifton with his immature ass saying he wants to be with her. He wants to be in her. Oh yeah, he did. Wait, let me read this. And here goes Clifton
I think
with
that's
his immature ass saying he wants to be in her. You are 40-year-old man. Grow up.
No, it's fun. It's playful. It's cute. It's lighthearted.
It made her blush and laugh. She was rolling.
She loved it. Like, I would love it.
Yeah.
Because it's not coming off in a creepy vibe. It's playful. It's fun because that's going to happen.
And I want you to be sexually attracted.
I want that to happen. Yes. I don't want you to friend zone me.
Yeah, we ain't these kind of like
no, you need to be like, because it's gonna be so you later. I know. Stop it. You know, like enjoy it. But you move like you move. That's cool. Move like you move. But
and again, I understand both sides because I understand how I feel, but the vibe, I don't feel that vibe with him. But yes, some men, it's just like, damn, dude, can you get off your dick for 2 seconds? And
especially if you're not into them, acting like that, it's gross, it's disgusting, it's obnoxious. But when you're into somebody, and it's a little different situation. Yeah. And there's substance there too. You can tell that there's more brewing than just that. If Uncle Paul said that, would you like it? No, because he's gross.
Yeah.
No, not for 1 second. The honest truth, and I'm sticking with it.
Not 100%. For 1 second, 100%.
No, because I would see what I'm saying to be like, because Mike, want to be inside you.
Y'all cracking me up tonight.
I'll be like, if he said that to me, I'd kick him in the balls, 100%. Because it's just creepy, and the way that Clifton said it was just out of like. Moment
genuine
chemistry. Like this is gonna happen and it's fun and this is a way of life. It wasn't like I'm creepy and I'm a rapist. You like that?
Rapist. I can't stand
Maybe
it.
I do, but I don't like it from you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a big difference. That is hilarious.
All right. Where are we? We got to wrap this up.
Yeah, we done covered all the dates and everybody. So I do love the deliberation. I like the way Ace shared that she and Laverne talk daily. So I think there could be something there. I don't know if she's as out there as he requires, but who knows? Maybe she has notes within her that match his, and he can be the out there one, and she can be the grounded one. Like it doesn't always have to be.
End up with Carmen, right?
Yes.
Yeah. We'll see. They're completely two different dichotomies of existence.
They're two complete. Carmen and Ace are two different people. Carmen likes Clifton, and I just don't think that is. No. Yeah. She's barking up the wrong tree with that, 100%. And it was just really obvious. He was being cordial, not.
She's better off trying to like Wiley than Clifton, which is completely the wrong side of the field.
None of it works.
You know what I mean? None of it works.
And she said, "Oh wait, Carmen." I wrote down that she said no to Laverne. Did I get that wrong?
Oh. Unless
I wrote down no. Did I get that right? Oh my God.
Wait, I didn't remember hearing that.
I wrote down that Ace said no, Paul. It's like when Tommy asked who doesn't resonate with you. I put no Laverne next to Carmen. I got to see if I got that right, y'all. So apologize if I didn't, but that would be really wild. I wouldn't understand that. So we're gonna fantasy. I'm gonna have to put that on pause. I might not have that correct, but if so, yikes.
Ruined.
Precious and Paul. Oh, that's what it is. I like how Precious spoke up on Paul's behalf.
Yes,
that's
you did.
How you do the damn thing.
I think that Precious is a little silly to feel that way because there is no mending, there's no gelling, and I think maybe she needs to feel that way for him, for her to recognize that, or she's not going to recognize that. I just don't see that being something, but I appreciate her speaking up and speaking out about what she does want, and I do think it was more appropriate for Cornbed to leave anyways this episode because he doesn't have enough attention. He's not moving with the intention. I understand the whole philosophy of just being present and seeing things where things go. But in that, you have to have intentions, right? So
Cornelius was thrown off and hesitant in the painting party when Dakia brought up the fact she wants to be married before she has children, which I completely agree with her. We understand all kinds of other things happen, but ideally for the foundational strength of the child and blah, 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 that is a good desire to have. That's clear. And the vibe of commitment freaked him out. So I'm just kind of, why are you here?
Yeah.
If Tiffany brought up commitment and that turns you off, now Dakia brings it up and you're hesitant. I really don't understand why you're on Ready to Love. It's time for you to go home. I had the
maybe you need to realize that you're not ready for love.
Why are you here? It doesn't make any sense.
I can't imagine that the producers didn't see this coming, but they need that person. They need that person who says they want something, and it's very obviously
like he just slid through the show. Like, hey, what's up? All right, it was kind of just like
I don't even remember him.
We're out. There's nothing to talk about, sir. Like, I can't.
At least he's not corny.
It's not happening. What kind of little corn muffins you finna have if you don't even know if you want a wife or not, sir? That's why you're 40-something and no children.
They're not going to taste good. They're not going to taste good. They're going to be the muffins that keep coming in the oven. They're going to be missing ingredients.
Too oily,
they're going to be dry. They're just not going to be
good
muffins.
Come on.
Not even edible. What do y'all think about the military dude? He gives me red flags. First, he's in the military. No more needs to be said about that. Secondly, he cheated in all his relationships.
Ooh. Huh. Demetrius, I'm going to tell you how I feel.
Go off.
So first of all, my dad is a 20-year retired Marine, so hoorah to that. But my dad is a very special man. He's not a cheater. He has made different decisions in his life, and he has upheld and upstanded things. Like, I'm so glad I have. When it comes to an upstanding man, I had one in my home. It was my dad. So that's number one. Number two, with Demetrius, the only thing I see with him is, yes, he's cheated in all his relationships, and I don't like that. However, he also spoke about the work he's done to change. I never want to put a period on somebody where there could be a comma, because I would hate somebody to do that to me. If you did the work, let's just talk about that. Let's talk about your triggers. Like, if I had a man who had cheated in his relationships, what we need to do is talk about what you felt when it's going to happen. Do you feel like you can come to me with this? Can we have open conversations about that? What did you feel like you were missing when you did this? What made you do this? And how did you feel this way? And what modality have you introduced into yourself that when you get these urges, you did it? Like,
how is that change going to be implemented? What does that really look like? Right. Not
in real life.
Skew over it, not pretend it doesn't exist. Like, partnership is about growth together. So how are we going to move past this together? Right. And yes, it is. And it's the hardest thing to gain trust with somebody when you know they are innately a cheater. But like you just said, that's usually coming from a place of lack, a place that needs to be healed, while they're searching outside themselves still for something else. Right. They can't trust in whatever it is that they're going through. But it's unfortunately hard to trust somebody that you know has done that so much. How can you be sure they're going to break that pattern? And you can't. All you can do is work on your own discernment, cultivate your own awareness.
That's it.
So that you can be present for them to put that comma there, and be present for them to finish the sentence. And depending on what that sentence is that's finished, use your own discernment, your own awareness to either close the chapter on that book together or continue to write a story together.
Yeah. And it's just as simple. It's interesting because the military is notorious for a lot of the cheating. A lot of people go through that. I have friends who've gotten multiple divorces from being in the military. It's an environment where you get deployed and you're on a boat for 6 months with a bunch of people. Right. 6 months. Somebody's it's 100%. Happening. Like, it's 100%. Going down. So there's, I was also listening to, what was it? It was a Twitter spaces about sexual discipline. And a lot of the men were very honest about, and this is just life anyway, but sometimes you have to go through the pain of messing up to even understand where your holes are, and to even understand that this is no longer how you want to live your life. You want to make the change because the women you have in your wake, the pain that you've caused, having to raise your kids separately from this and that, starts to, now you wait, you're awake. And unfortunately, sometimes it takes bruising your knees to stop running like that. So it's just a human thing. Some of us learn from pain, and
We're
we
human.
mature. Yeah,
Well,
we mature.
Look, I'm not trying to give anybody an excuse to do what they're doing that's going to hurt somebody else, but I don't know
Absolutely
what's
not.
going on between him and himself and what struggle he, especially in the military, what he's facing that he feels like he needs to do that. Like the pressure, the fear, the anxiety, all of the stuff that is on your back being in the military.
And it's hard. It's hard.
That's a lot on its
It's a
own.
lot.
So to not want to go and seek that pleasure for a second seems like that'd be impossible not to when you need some type of escape, when you are so
he
embedded
probably
in this.
shouldn't. Yeah, he probably just shouldn't have got married. Don't commit to somebody when
But
maybe you should have just.
a lot of people do that not knowing any better, not
That's
even
true.
realizing like that's even the outcome of you doing such a thing. So that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to give people excuses, but the underlying condition of all of it is something to adhere to and understand.
Yeah.
People say they do the work and then they go back to the same thing, like Dr. Dre or Peach Juice from Real House of Atlanta and her anger management. 100%, absolutely. Not everybody is capable of change. There is no doubt about that. We appreciate you being here. I'm loving this. I'm loving the perspective and point of view you're bringing because it's bringing on some great conversations. So thank you for joining us.
Yes, definitely appreciate you.
But, I think it's not expecting people to change, my man. It's not expecting people to change. And being at peace with who they are, and then from there, placing them where they belong in your life. But to have that blockade around you forever because of other people's mistakes and their choices, unfortunately, that's going to stop you from living a full existence of life and being available for something good, because you're going to still be tethered to the fear of how somebody else acted, and that other person acted on a whole different perspective, point of view, way of life, upbringing, that those were boiling points, shoes that they walked through that none of us have put on. So it gets tricky. It's a tricky subject, and now at 40, it's easier to just accept people for who they are, not what's in the change. I haven't mastered it. Obviously, I'm still alive. I don't know if I will, but at least I intend to. So I also just won't put myself in that position to be with somebody who's done it 4 times. If they put a comma and then do the same thing, if they put something, then period. Like I said, if that chapter can keep going, we'll keep going with it, because only in due time do we know what the outcome of anything is. Anything.
Yeah, because what I'm also seeing is the beauty of that too. You know how it feels to hurt somebody with your cheating. You know what it's done to your heart to do that. So
once the self-awareness is there, then that makes it really hard to do it again. Absolutely.
Yeah. So now if you're coming to me with a full hot heart and the ability to honor the sanctity of relationship, and because you don't want to do that no more for yourself, this now becomes a space where you take your fine ass into a room and it's like, these hoes ain't phasing you. That's my man right there.
Loyal. 100%.
I like, because he knows I'm not gonna ride you every day. You need to know for yourself that this is not who you want to be.
And if that is who you are, if you are someone that's going to continue to be that way, there's somebody out there that's going to be okay having an open relationship with you, though. So you just be honest and forthright, so that when you have these conversations, you might get a lot of no's, but somebody might finally be honest with themselves in the same position and be like, that works for me. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with an open relationship. So, to each their own.
Yeah. It's not that I'm not allowing them to change. It's that if you've done something for 10 to 20 years plus, so it's a pattern of behavior, it's hard to believe they're trying.
I think that's what I just said too.
Yeah,
if they're not, that means they're not being forthright and honest with themselves.
Yeah.
And so start doing that so that you can start being that authentic self for somebody else to be like, you do that, so do I. So that's probably going to happen. You know what I mean? As opposed to, like you just said, my man, ignoring that for so long, repeating patterns with the wrong person, and for yourself, it's wrong as well. So, yeah.
Yeah. And, Gus, I like what you brought up, which is the main thing. And it's something that I had to learn this is why it's so important to do your own work and have your self work and be able to deal and navigate life for self, because your intuition is going to tell you, your
100%.
body is going to tell you.
Absolutely.
And it just I can't be mad at nobody for where they're at. I can't label them. I can't stick that on them because it's my responsibility to say yes or no.
And I know
be
how hard
very
this place can
clear.
be. I know how difficult it can be
That's
to
your
be in
journey, bro.
100%.
That's your journey. I don't want any parts of that because I felt this or I smelled or
and
I
because
just
you're still dealing with that. I'm not here to save you. It's also good to make sure you're not having a savior complex still, where you're just trying to help somebody else. No. You know, because you can't at the end of the day, right? That's up to them. Even if you can't lead a horse to water and make a drink. It's up to the horse. So, anywho, I have to get going. So
yes, me too.
Who left?
No, that was it. That was everything. So
okay, we were talking about the kickoff.
Yeah, Cornelius is gone. I think that was a great choice. Perfect. He's not ready for love. It made no sense. I don't even know what he was doing on the show, but love you. Like
needed it. They need someone to kick off second.
Yeah, and so this was really good. This was really fun. You guys, thank you for tuning in. Oh yeah, that's right. See, I almost forgot. I'm so glad you said that. We got a few little Twitters.
I was like, don't cut her off, and then I still said it, and then I was like, good thing you did. Good thing
you did. The streets. So here we have.
Paul is one of those guys.
Oh, I can't see you.
That I'll be talking to, but thinking about what I need from the grocery store.
And did you see the picture? Just like
1,000%.
Oh my gosh. So that's how the streets are feeling about that. Clifton and Joy are my season 5 faves. I think it's unanimous when it comes to that. So thank you, Auntie Shun.
Absolutely, Auntie Shun. Yep.
Dakia is a systems engineer who works for NASA and owns a dance studio. This black girl magic is extra magical. Hashtag ready to love.
%.
And then at the bottom, and the cancer survivor.
Like, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Go off, girl. Glow off.
Glow off. Glow up. Glow up.
Honey. Take this last one here. Oh, this is a good one. I forgot.
Why do men ask why we are single? Sir, the same reason why your ass is single. Ready to love, hashtag. Girl, I couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. I had that question asked me today, you know, and it's like, I mean, I know, but like, are you going to hear it? And are you going to understand? So,
I was going to ask you if you thought about that question, but
those are great questions to actually have. Those are great because it's good for you just in general to be able to speak up and say it out loud and then be able to keep cultivating your thought process to see what that means the next time and the time before that. And then really find out why. Like, why? Yeah. Why? And then after you do, you're like, it's nobody's business. So I figured it out. So
it's just one of those questions. It's just, I don't know. I'm indifferent about it. I'll answer it if I have to, but I don't know. I got to think about that one. I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of like, if you don't have better questions to ask me to like actually figure that out, then like.
It depends on where our conversation is going. If it just makes sense because we're on that route of talking about deeper things and it just makes sense.
So why is somebody like you single?
Consciously?
Yeah, like you're so amazing. And why is somebody like you single? Then that might be a little different. You know, like you're showing me you and all the things that are great. And then it's like, so how are you single?
Yeah. There's so many different ways with that, right? Because I'm thinking of the like, yeah, because you're so great. So is this by choice? Like, why are you single? Like, I want to know more about you and your decisions.
Which is how you could bring it into the format of answering it.
Exactly. So it could be loaded, but it could also be
100%.
Whatever.
That was
Oh my
fun.
God. Thank you, everybody. Please share with a friend. Make sure to tune in Friday at 8 p.m. Pacific time for next week after the show. And we'll have another conversation. This is the Ready to Love After Discussion with Jaimi and Gustavo. Like, Adios. Share with a friend, follow us on social, and we'll see you on Friday.
Hasta luego. Hasta luego.
Hasta pronto.
Bye. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.